The environment in which we live is completely shaped by science and technology. You only have to look around any of the places that we live and work in to see the influence of science and technology. And I think what we're seeing throughout the scientific research world is that people are increasingly recognizing that as an intrinsic part of their scientific world, they need to engage not only with their scientific peers, but with a much more general community at large.
I think it's very important that practicing research scientists like myself are properly engaged with the public at all levels. During the debate on GM crops, one issue was that the public didn't want to eat food which has genes in it. Knowing that was an issue is important for us to frame the right questions and answers to deal with public concern.
In terms of public engagement, I think my scariest moment was taking part in UCL's Bright Club. That's a comedy club where we present science and other forms of research in a pub in London. Definitely the scariest moment, perhaps the most fun, but not one that's persuaded me to change my career.
As part of our 75th anniversary celebrations, we've worked with 9 of the scientific centres that we support who are already involved in public engagement to increase their public engagement activities throughout the years for exciting programmes of public engagement throughout the UK.
So the Life Through a Lens project takes on 2 different forms. The weekend is a drop-in session where people visiting the botanical gardens can come in, can see microscopes, can discuss with science, interact with scientists, and perhaps have their eyes opened to interesting things that are going on at a level too small for them to see.
They're really big when you see into it.
That's because it's magnified.
It was quite interesting to find out that there's more to science than just scientists sitting in a lab somewhere, that they actually get out there and you know, explore the world and show everybody what they're doing.
Can I see it? Wow.
And this microscope, I mean, that's really been amazing because I've never looked through a microscope before. I never realised there was so much in the pond life. There's little things sort of floating around in it as well. I don't know whether it's my eyes or not. Yes, they should be. Oh, well, that's okay.
School sessions are much more structured. We explore something of the history of cell science through historical reenactments in a very amateurish way.
I'll be taking the part of Robert Hooke. A little bit nervous, yeah, but I feel quite confident. I've spent some time learning my lines. My girlfriend's been getting quite annoyed with me, but hopefully it'll be worth it in the performance today. Good day to you all, fine fellows of the Royal Society. I have been building myself a series of magnifying glasses for looking at things very closely.
My favourite scientist was Mr. Hook because he was funny.
One of the really important things about the project was how involved and enthusiastic the director and the senior PIs were. In some cases they did some of the acting and made themselves look quite silly, and I thought that was a brilliant example to set. Real direct involvement, not afraid to look a bit foolish.
That sounds incredible. Absolute nonsense.
So Sara has really driven this project, and the best thing I did was to hire her to do it. Sara had far more experience of doing public engagement than I had, although I had been involved in several public engagement projects in the past, and she really had a drive and a creative edge and a sense of leadership about taking over the project, which I really admired.
We're all cell biologists from the Wellcome Trust Centre for Cell Biology, so everyone here is a scientist, that's actually why our acting is so bad.
One of the things that the Wellcome Trust did to help us was to engage a former producer of Horizon documentaries. And she gave us really quite a lot of helpful insights on how to get a message across, how to engage with the public, the sort of levels we should be pitching at.
Today I have learned that science is really fun, and I didn't expect it to be that fun. So what I've learned today is like what's in one drop of water? Worms, plants, and just insects. Because if you look at that, it's a big difference from what you see here. It's really, really amazing.
It's really rewarding to actually think that you are helping to encourage a future generation of scientists.
I really reckon I really, really will become a scientist, and I would really like to.
SGC does basic scientific research, leveraging or promoting drug discovery, everything done in the open access format. What happened today was a study day where we're trying to engage with younger populations who are already naturally interested in science A-level students. One of the first ideas we had is that how can we communicate the 3D or two-dimensional aspect of structural biology in a quick and fast way. And the best intuitive way is actually having a hands-on physical model. So we went about and started looking for resources on the web that will actually communicate them, how the fold of the proteins will look like in real world.
It's a good day to explain about protein structure and things like that. So we get to build with these kits, which are basically like Lego, and you get to try and actually build a protein, which is very hands-on and good. I think it really helps you visualise what's going on a lot better than just on a screen, because you really get to see how complex it is when you've got a long string and you have to fold it up in a particular way, just to see how difficult it is to do. It's fun interacting with people and trying to, convey something that you found exciting to learn and see other people finding it exciting to learn about it as well. The RNAs as well, which is the small one on the page.
So I think the only constraint actually, or the only challenge, is that it does take time for the scientists to participate in this sort of activity. My colleagues who participated in this event, I mean, they loved it. They were enthused by the response they got from the students and the teachers. I hope that what this public engagement has done is actually sort of instilled that sort of enthusiasm and inspired some students to come into science.
Children of the 90s is a birth cohort study that was started in Bristol in 1991. We recruited 14,500 pregnant women, and we've been following their lives and their children's lives ever since.
The Children of the 90s study is so important because it's the largest study with really intensive data collection, which has genetic data, blood tests, biological samples, but a huge amount of questionnaire data and clinical examination data.
We particularly chose a venue that we felt really celebrated what was best in Bristol. There's many thousands of people who regularly come here at the weekend, and we felt that this was a really great place to showcase the work that we're doing here.
We've got loads of different things going on. We've got some artwork here by some young people and by our artist Jan. We've got some things on video, stories from children of the 90s. We've got some research going on.
Can you see it?
Oh yeah!
I think it's been interesting to work as an artist within a scientific project because art can be a different way of engaging with people. And it's been great that we've had so many people here who wouldn't normally come to a science-based event, but have seen it in a different way and hopefully in an accessible way.
We very much recognise that without the participants we wouldn't have a study, And so we work very hard to keep a very strong, trusting relationship with the participants.
I feel really excited about meeting the scientists today to talk to them about the research and everything, because it's something that I've grown up with and I feel quite passionate about it, and I'd like to know more about what my research has gone towards and how I've helped.
I think it's important to kind of give something back to the people who take part in the study. We expect them to fill in lots of questionnaires, give up a lot of time to answer the questions for our studies, so I think we should make ourselves available if they want to speak to us and find out more about what we do. I think that's really important.
We want to make the study as sort of responsive to participants and local community as we can be. It's also really helpful for us to hear about ways that we can improve participation. What sort of things engage people, what things make them want to come back to the study.
It's really important to emphasise that all of this has a role to play, from the rather local activity to the national activity. Sometimes scientists can be a bit sneery about people talking to the public, and they're utterly wrong, completely wrong. If we've got a good ambassador, respect what they can do, encourage them to do it, because it helps us all in the long run.
My message to all of the researchers is that we think that it's important that you do engage with much broader publics, and when you have some exciting science to communicate, go ahead and do it. And by all means, come to the Trust and ask us for advice and support.